Sorry, guys. Serious CRS here.
Part of the aging process.
Terrible CRS.
Okay, so we got Stu.
Just sitting here making a salad for Lisa when she gets home. Forgot all about it. Thanks, Alan, for calling me.
No problem.
Good intentions, just can't remember shit.
No kidding. Get in the boat with the rest of us.
It's awful.
That boat's pretty full.
Which boat? What boat? What boat are we talking about?
That's why I call Lisa Honey all the time. I can't remember Lisa sometimes. All right, so we
We got
officially
a
started.
quorum?
Yeah, we do have a quorum.
All
We
right.
officially started at 7:10,
Good.
and I got a list of the players. So there were no minutes from our last meeting because we didn't have a meeting. I owe you some minutes, Alan. I apologize, but work keeps getting in the way.
It's okay.
Anyhow, I think it's time for general discussion, but it doesn't look like there's anyone here to do a general discussion, is there? Was that a pass? So I think this is you, Stu, ARPA.
No, well, let's see. Alan's been in touch with the engineer. He signed the agreement. The town signed the agreement to begin the survey work.
Okay,
And I talked to Carl last Monday. And he said the surveyor is very busy, but he should get to it in the next couple of weeks. And that was Monday that he said that. And after that, we can start looking at his scope of work. He's gonna have to put that together. And then from there, we can go out to bid. So it'll be a winter of bidding and hopefully break ground sometime in 2023. Other than that, not a lot of excitement at ARPA, was there, Alan? I mean,
I wasn't there. I don't know.
there wasn't much going on.
did that second check ever happen? Have we been paid?
Yes, the tranche, the second check for the tranche, it did come in. And we are clear to start spending money as long as we get a appropriate permission to spend money as we move along.
Cool. Who provides that permission? The ARPA committee?
Well, the ARPA committee is one, but I think they want POs for everything. So that would be signed by, I guess, Erica,
Sounds
right,
like-
Alan? Or you?
Well, I think we need that's the step where we need RFPs, isn't it? I think
Well-
anytime we want to put something out to bid, we have to write it up.
Let's use the engineer's survey as an example. It wasn't an RFP. Everybody agreed we're going to use Carl, but she wanted some kind of permission documentation along the way. So I don't think we did a PO for that. Did you, Carl? Just to the agreement? Just have him sign the agreement.
Yeah,
That was under,
he sent it to us. So
that was under 5,000 too, so if it's
Yeah.
under 5,000.
Yeah.
Who signed that?
Erica signed it.
Okay. But to continue on with what Alan was saying, the RFP process will define our next courses of action, and when it gets awarded, it would need to go back to the committee, I'm sure, and say, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to spend.
I will say this though, I had a talk with Carl, and he told me that he would help me write the RFPs because that is something that would be included in the cost of his job for doing this for the town.
Good.
So that is good because, I definitely want his expertise, when it comes to writing that. It's supposed to be a very detailed explanation and description of what you're
Yeah.
requesting from the job. So
Yeah.
we need an expert.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like
he needs to guide that process, and he seems very willing to do that when I talk to him. And he's very comfortable with Alan. to the point where I felt a little awkward getting in the way. So I'm comfortable with Alan too. So I'll just stay in touch with Carl to make sure everything's moving along. But
Great.
he's very comfortable with Alan, and we'll just keep going the way we're going.
Yeah, Carl's a good guy. Pretty easygoing guy.
Yep.
I'd say so. Yeah. He
Right,
is.
so is that's our ARPA?
I
Anything else?
mean, there were other subcommittees. There's new money requested for the library. A little bit of work for the senior center.
Is
But there wasn't a
some
lot of
unclaimed money?
new stuff. Wasn't a lot of new stuff. And I think I sent out a document after the meeting.
Yeah, I
um,
saw that.
Telling everybody what was up. So sorry, I'm kind of jumping on here. So excuse me for not having that in front of me.
Well, that's okay. Is there more money? Is there more money than there are requests right now?
There's money left. Yes,
Okay,
there's money left.
I guess
And they're
that's good.
still taking, there is some money left. I think they put a hold on proposals until they figured out what we were doing with these last few. So it's moving along.
All right, it sounds good. What is next?
Oh,
is
the board,
CIP.
there was some falderall, that's my word, about Erica wanting to give bonuses to town employees and the firemen. And there's a fair amount of discussion on that. And Erica was going to go to the Board of Finance and have a referendum, a town vote on that. But she decided to pull that proposal. And now she just wants to do some sort of a recognition, something, lunch, dinner. I don't know what she's going to do, and she doesn't know either, but she's withdrawn the
Hmm.
money distribution. It just got a little
Contentious.
hot.
Okay,
So that was an important piece, I think.
all right. Looks like CIP is next, but I'm not sure what we're talking about. We're talking about pickleball?
So this is it's about to be the time where they ask if there's any projects that we want to submit.
Oh,
So I figured I'd bring it up to see if there's anything that you guys wanted. I guess my opinion on it right now is I kind of feel like we have a lot of stuff going on at the park that I think maybe we should kind of sort out before we ask for more. I don't know. I mean, it's whatever you guys want to do. You know, it's just we have stuff already. So
is there a form that we have to fill out with a 5-year projection?
yeah, I
Doing
I
that in the
fill it
back.
out and then I submit it to the CIP committee.
Okay,
That's if you guys want to submit something.
well, I think there's old stuff on it yet, right?
Yeah, but the stuff I think one of the things on there is lighting on that CIP plan. So that would be removed.
Well, the lighting was for the soccer field and the baseball field, like sports lighting. Wasn't it a big
Oh.
number?
I'm gonna have to find that. I think that's the one that document I found one time and then I couldn't find it again.
We did that as like the last thing, right? In the 5-year plan.
Yeah, it was definitely a later one. And then we submitted the one for that workout pavilion last year, or yeah, it was last year, I think. And they accepted it, but then they wanted to move it to ARPA, so it never actually went through the CIP process. And then we just, it didn't happen in ARPA. So
Maybe put that back on CIP.
you want me to?
Why not?
Okay.
What is it? What is it again, guys?
It's a workout pavilion. So the workout area that we have down there at the park, the original plan before we
pavilion.
fix everything there was to put a roof over it, basically, so people could still use it in bad weather, and even when the sun's out and heating up all the metal equipment and everything.
That'll protect the equipment too, make it last longer.
Yeah, the UV rays beat that leather padded stuff
Oh, yeah.
to death.
Actually, I kind of think that if we were gonna go down that route, I think maybe we should put a few more things down there, a few more pieces of equipment. I think that might be beneficial. If we're gonna put a big thing there to protect it, we might as well make it better. There's only like 4 or 5 machines in the ground, so
Yeah, I think that'd be a great CIP item. Pavilion and expand the exercise equipment.
I did have, when I was thinking it over in my head, I almost thought that maybe another pavilion, an independent one like we have, would be a good idea too. Have 2 pavilion. That's like the most used thing down there in terms of people reserving things, is the pavilion. I almost thought maybe a second pavilion would be good, with no exercise equipment under it.
Yeah, or maybe expand the one we got towards center field, but I'm okay with the CIP item as a little pavilion roof over the exercise equipment. I think that's good.
Maybe you think we could ask for a bigger pavilion and then half of it be workout and then put a couple more benches in there, like, make it a half and half sort of deal?
If you have enough room down there.
I think we would, because there's really nothing in that field,
Pickleball
Putting-
over there.
Yeah,
You're putting a pickleball court over there, right?
Pickleball's going in.
You're leaving the basketball, you're leaving the volleyball, and you're putting in pickleball.
okay. Well, I can put that through. It hasn't come yet, but it's going to be here real soon,
Is there a due date on the CIP money or proposals?
I think it's December, sometime in December. Not positive though.
I think the pavilion, you're the best representative of how often that gets rented, Alan, but speaking to you earlier, I agree that that's a real good resource for the town, for families to use and have birthday parties and things down there. And they can rent it. So I don't know the volume of usage, if another pavilion is worth it. I don't know that at all. I'd have to look at, I think we need to listen to how often is it rented? How often is it requested and busy being rented? That kind of-
I can look at exactly how many times it was rented over the spring and summer and bring it to the next meeting.
Is there another location in town that could use a pavilion?
It's a good question. I don't know if there's any place that we sort of run that we would be able to put one.
Waterfront, we don't own it.
How much do we charge for that pavilion?
So it depends if you're a resident or non-resident, and then it depends on how many hours. It's like 5 hours for a non-resident, I think, is $100. And it's,
So
you know.
$100 rental divided by $40,000 building. Let's see, we pay that off in about
You'll be gone, Mikey.
maybe I can ask to be buried under it.
That's nice.
You're gonna have to pay $100 for that, though.
Hey,
Never
speaking
mind.
of that, what's going on with the whole bench thing? This is off topic, but
I just got the bench. It came today.
I mean, but what about the discussion of him and her? And
Yeah. So basically, Erica talked to the guy. He's not interested in doing anything with his ex-wife,
Wow, what a surprise.
and he wants to proceed with the original plan. So that's
So
what we're
that's what
doing.
we're
Yep.
And the ex-wife is not bothering you?
No, no.
Okay.
So the bench, I ordered the bench. It came in today. And I just sent an email out. It's been difficult to get the parts for this stuff. So the one place that I found a good price on for the bench originally was like $800. I talked to a guy over the phone. He was like, "Oh, it's probably gonna be about $200 shipping." Well, it turns out it was $700 shipping. So I couldn't,
Oh,
and that's where I was planning to get the bench. So then all of a sudden I'm trying to scramble, find it. And I went to Trumbull Recreation, which is in Wellington. And it's a store that, Maureen used, but only for certain things like trash bags and, like stuff like that. So when I went in to see her, she goes, I was always shocked that, our town's recreation department didn't come to the town's recreation store. So I went in there and she was super nice, super accommodating. I decided to scrap where I was getting the plaque the first place, and she's working to have it made at this other place for way cheaper. She got me the site to order the best bench for the cheapest price, and so that's on track. I emailed her today to see where we are with the plaque.
Cool.
Um,
Where's
obviously
your
that's not
store?
her. It's right at Hall's Pond, like in that mill area.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Use local vendors.
Yeah.
That's smart. How are we at the waterfront? Is there anything we need there that CIP would provide? You have a container now, right?
We have a container.
Do you need a new
Um,
lifeguard chair?
So the
Or a raft? Buoy?
lifeguards didn't even use the lifeguard chair.
All right.
They used their own chairs, which are just like the unfoldable ones, they're more comfy than that big wooden chair. So
yeah.
I remember, I think it was Bethany. She left like a note or something. I remember reading when I first started, said we need to replace the lifeguard chair. And I looked at it and I'm like, I don't think it needs to get replaced. I don't think it's in bad shape. But then going through it this summer, I'm like, nobody even used the chair. Like, I don't know why we would replace it. The dock is still new. The diver, he told me it's like 5 years old or something like that. He says it's in great shape. Nothing we need to do with that.
Okay.
So I don't think
How about
so.
your buoys?
I do need to replace the lines. All of them. Like they're done. He said that he's been doing this for, I don't know, 15 years or something. For us going out there and working with the anchors and the lines and all that. And he's like, this rope has never been replaced. He's like, it's horrible. He goes, we could probably get another year out of it, but I'm like, no, we're gonna replace it.
Is that a lot of
Unfortunately, it's
money?
like $1,000 or a little bit more than $1,000 to get that.
So that's not really a CIP thing, but it's something you got to do.
Yeah. But he was telling me, he was like, it's not good because it's you can get like splinters from it. And I'm like, splinters from rope? And he's
From
like, yeah,
nylon.
yeah. So I actually got one when I was pulling the rope in from the water. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yep, there's a splinter and we've got to replace it.
Mm. You don't want kids getting splinters while they're swimming.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I guess we could all kind of think of some other CIP stuff, but I definitely think the pavilion over the sports equipment and maybe a little oversized, and then keep sports lighting in there for the soccer field at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And whatever, if anybody thinks of something, we could chip in and put a list together. We need 5 items. I think if you look at that list, there's probably a couple things way out, like a building and sports lighting and stuff way down the
Oh,
road.
lighting.
Yeah.
I never saw a building on there.
No, we took that off.
Well, it's just not in the thing that I saw in the
Okay.
5-year span that I saw.
How's the parking lot down there? At
In
River
terms of
Road?
what?
At River Road? Is
I
it
mean,
washed out? Is it in good shape?
No,
Is it
I mean,
okay?
it's okay. I don't think we need to do anything to it. It's good enough, basically, is what I think,
All those rails are still intact?
So I was looking at those. A couple of them definitely need to be replaced, and one of the posts needs to be replaced. And it's one of the posts that the chain is on. I was thinking that would just be like sort of a regular maintenance thing, because in the budget we have quite a bit of money to be able to fix things at River Road, so even if it was, not cheap, I should say, to fix some of those posts and rails and stuff like that, I think we would have enough money to cover
Okay.
something like that.
You still use Kent Fence to do that?
I haven't, is that the company that put in the baseball fence too?
I think so.
So I tried to
In the
contact
past.
them many, many, many times, and they never picked up the phone or responded to anything. So even if that was the company that was used, I'm not going back to them.
Okay. You should find somebody though, because you're gonna want to get that fixed.
Because last Halloween, the baseball fence was vandalized. I'm sure you remember. That's why we met down there to look at the security system for the first time.
Yep.
And I needed it fixed, and they never helped. So I went and I bought the parts from Home Depot, and then Public Works was able to, bubble gum and duct tape it back together. So
I know we got to do something with the irrigation system too. I think our pump is shot. Something's wrong. We haven't had water down there for 2 years.
You talking
So
about the well pump?
Either the pump is shot or something's wrong. Can't get
maybe
water.
maybe I should, before we kind of come up with an idea for CIP, maybe I should have them come out and see what they think is wrong. And then if they say it's a big job, maybe we make that the CIP.
No, that's something you're gonna need. I mean, I know we haven't used it in 2 years because it hasn't worked. Do we ever use water there?
So I've been told that in the past people have watered the grass with it. That's really all I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think Maureen bought some sprinklers, like golf sprinklers. the
Yeah.
Ones that stand up tall on tripods and shoot a lot of water.
I don't know where
We
those
should keep that on the back burner and come spring, get Stavens down there and see what's wrong.
are. Okay.
It's possible the pump got hit by lightning.
Oh, yeah, down there in that corner, definitely. Could be a broken wire, could be anything. But, that's a Stavens thing, not a
Well, I
me
mean,
and Benatti thing.
What do you
Yeah.
think the cost of something like that would be to fix that? I mean, if it's gonna be like
Well, if it's a new pump, it's probably,
too much.
I'd say a new pump is 2,500 all day long.
At least.
Yeah. So I mean, we have money to spend down there at River Road, but we can't handle job after job after job. You know what I mean? So if it was gonna be a big thing like that, maybe we should think about.
Well, all that infrastructure is there. We should make it work, because if you abandon it in 10 years from now, you want to try and make it work, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
And we limited usage down there this year because of the drought and the condition of the grass. And I'm learning that we have irrigation there and it's not working. So I vote, I'd like to see it working.
Yep. It'd be on you though, Alan, is the unfortunate moment. You'd have to drive down there and smoke a cigarette and watch the sprinklers go.
I don't smoke.
Well, do something. It's a watch it go thing, or you could set them up, I guess, and come back hours later and break them down.
Oh, it's not an in-ground sprinkler system?
Negative.
Oh, okay, all right.
But it's not like he has to drag a hose everywhere. We've got, that's another thing too. We got to replace the ground boxes, but there's a bunch of ground boxes that have Silcox or hose bibs or whatever. So you can you put a hose there and run 50 feet to one of those sprinklers and let it rip. So there's infrastructure there. The baseball guys used to use it on the infield.
Right,
Down the infield before a game.
keep the dust down.
Yeah. And is there any baseball this year?
People use the field for practice. I saw that a few times.
So I know we're with Mansfield now. It'd be great if Mansfield used that field half dozen times every summer.
Yeah.
Then they would need water. So I'm just gonna make a note. We should think about getting the water fixed. All right, any other CIP stuff?
Is there drinking water down there at River Road?
Now, if you want it to be potable, you gotta spend a ton of money.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay,
So, yeah, you could drink it and not die, but
Yeah. Carl told me that it was set up to not be drinkable.
non-potable,
Yep.
Right. Much cheaper.
right? All right, Alan, director's report, you're on.
All right. So I think it's been a while since we've talked. So some of the stuff maybe you do know about, maybe some you don't. Not sure. But I will start with the Halloween party. I know you guys at least heard about that, which is why we're having this meeting today and not next Monday. So we're having a free Halloween party down at River Road. And we're gonna have some of the stuff that we had for summer camp there. Like we're gonna set up the bounce house and the ping pong table and the basketball game thing we got. We're gonna give out candy, water, that sort of stuff. But the cool thing is that this company named CTE approached us and said they wanted to be part of it. So they run lifts. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're
Oh.
right next to where Track 9 Diner used to be.
Flat Penny, they're next to the Flat Penny there.
Yeah. So we set this up with them. They're gonna take a lift out to the basketball court, and we're gonna set it all up. We made a big bullseye, so they're gonna bring. It's a fundraiser. It's like $5. You're gonna bring the lift is gonna. There's an operator, a harness, all sorts of stuff like that. They're gonna bring a kid up, and they're gonna drop a pumpkin from about 30 feet onto the bullseye. It's gonna explode, and then they're gonna get a prize.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that I don't think anything like that's ever been done around here before. So should be a cool thing to do.
I like
And
it.
we don't know how many people we're gonna have there. It could be 5, it could be 60. I don't know, but because it's the first year, we don't know. But we're hoping to get people that that are driving to like St. Moritz area, maybe to stop by. So it's from 4 to 6. Stop by if you want to check it out. I think it'll be pretty cool.
What's the date?
Halloween next Monday. It's next Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 to 6 next Monday.
Okay. Don't let them drive that lift onto the basketball court.
Don't let them.
I wouldn't. Would you,
No,
Mike?
that's where we were planning on putting it.
Fine.
Huh?
It's fine. That's compact under there. It won't hurt it.
Is it tracks or is it tires? The
It's
ones I see there have tracks on them.
I think the lift itself has nothing on it. I think they move it to where they want it to with tracks, and then it has like 4 legs
No,
that
it's drivable. It's got tracks. I see them set up there.
Okay.
And it's got outriggers to get the tracks up in the air. So if they set the outriggers on that basketball court, they're gonna wreck it. They'd have to
Yeah.
put plywood down or something.
Can't be that heavy.
Have you seen the one they got down there by the old Track 9?
They bring in the biggest one they own.
They're all pretty big. They look like 50 footers.
Well, you could ask if they have, what do they call it when they put that down underneath? Cribbing. Ask if they have cribbing for the outriggers.
You definitely don't want to put the outriggers down unless they got big rubber bases.
So I'm not sure exactly what they have, but so we met with them down there, and that's kind of where we were thinking that would be the best spot for it, because we can't do it in the parking lot, and the grass would be a mess. And we're not sure if the pumpkins would explode when it hits the grass, you know, because it would be softer. And the whole point of it is to explode the pumpkins, you know?
But they could set up on the grass and they've got a outrigger and reach out over the basketball court. They get in the middle of the basketball court without being on it.
It's gonna be cold. That asphalt won't have any issues.
All right. It's on you, Panati.
I'll go down there with some concrete and fill in the divots.
There's gonna be some marks on the court when they're done, guaranteed. If they pull up on it. 'Cause
So-
it's not tires, it's tracks.
As long as they go straight in and straight out, they should be fine.
Okay,
No turning.
just be careful, Alan.
Okay.
Just make sure they don't mess anything up.
I'd like to, you know, I wish I could give you more information about it, but I don't know that much. You know, they sent me a picture of what the lift looks like. That's pretty much all I know about it. You know, we didn't talk about weight or anything like that. You know, my concern was where can we put it to make this happen, and how are we going to get it there? You know, I mean, I could tell you driving it through the grass for sure is gonna tear it up, as it's, you know how the grass is there. It's horrible. They probably sink in there. So I figured if they drove along the track and got close, then they would be able to just go right up onto the court. Do you want me to figure out how much it weighs?
No, they should know, they should be smart enough to realize if they can go on an asphalt court with it or not. But
Hey, guys.
the one that I see sitting down there at the Flat Penny restaurant, you know, pretty big, pretty heavy. It's got big tracks on it. It's got big outriggers.
I'll show you guys the email of the picture of the lift. And it might not be the same one. I don't know. I'm not sure. But you can
Okay,
take a look
guys.
at it.
How much did we spend on, I'm here. How much did we spend on getting that surface all refinished?
$7,000.
Yeah, well, I'm with Joe on that one.
I would stay off of it. You can get alongside of it. The company's called CTE.
Yeah. So,
I know this is ridiculous to do, but that's the kind of lift they got.
I can't
They're
see.
pretty big.
Actually, that's the picture right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
see-
big lift.
You see the one that's half on the grass, half on the road with a tree in the background? That's the picture that they sent. The blue one.
Yeah. You know, I can't see the size on it, but and so it looks like the outriggers do have rubber underneath them. But it's definitely tracks it rolls on. So, no, just be careful. Be smart. They could get up alongside the basketball court with that thing and reach to the other side of the court without even being on it.
Okay.
That thing articulates like 5 times.
They can probably do it from the road. I don't mean Route 32. I mean the road right next to the,
Oh,
In the
yeah, the
parking
parking lot.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's the little white one they're gonna use, Alan?
I'm not sure. They sent me a picture, and that was the picture they sent.
All right.
Was that one? Okay. Well, I'll talk to them again, and
We just don't want to wreck the basketball court, that's all.
Yeah.
It
okay.
can be off the court, reach out and drop it.
Okay.
I agree, dropping it on the court's fun because it's gonna smash.
Yeah. So
Then you gotta clean that pumpkin up.
Oh, I know. I'll be there the next day.
Are you putting a tarp out with a bullseye on it? They're dropping it on
It's
that?
so yeah, so we were trying to find bullseyes, like giant bullseyes, and they were extremely hard to find, surprisingly. So I came up with the idea to take two of these like banners that I had. They were non-smoking banners, and put them together and then spray paint a giant bullseye on it. So it's pretty big. It'll work good.
Okay,
So hopefully we get a good turnout for it.
that'd be
And then
fun
if
to
we
drop
do,
a
maybe it's
pumpkin
something we
from
could
a
do
pie.
every year.
Yeah, it'd be fun to drop a pumpkin from a pie. That's cool.
Yeah,
Take some videos,
I
you know, on
shall.
the drop.
I might even do it myself.
Yeah. All right.
All right, that's the first thing. That's the Halloween party. I already put out the flyer for the turkey scavenger hunt. That's the thing that we do at Fenton Ruby Park. So we're gonna do that again this year. The tree lighting. So I started planning the tree lighting, and I actually received a call last Christmas, or before the tree lighting, I should say, from a gentleman that moved to Wellington who's a professional Santa. But I had already arranged for the Santa that normally comes through on his giant, lit up truck, fire truck.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So I said, it is cool. And I said, thank you, but it's already set. But last year, I was a little disappointed because they didn't come when I asked them to come, and most of the people had already left already. So this time I decided I want to try something new. So we're gonna have a new Santa at the tree lighting, and he's not gonna have a truck, but he's gonna walk around and he's gonna mingle with everybody for 2 hours. So I think that'll be cool too, instead of just doing a drive-by. So I started reaching out to the groups and trying to get that all organized and ready to go. And that's going to be December 9th, I think is the date. Friday, December 9th.
Where's that turkey scavenger hunt happen?
Fenton Ruby Park. For the first time ever, Parks and Rec and Human Services have decided to try a different camp, an additional one besides summer camp. We're going to do a winter camp also. And it's going to be in that week off after Christmas, but before New Year's. And we're thinking that it's going to be successful because, most parents still have to work, but the parents or the kids have to go somewhere. So that's kind of the thinking behind it. And I talked to Debbie Linares, the director of the library, and she was happy to have it at the library.
Oh,
So
cool.
I think it's going to be awesome. There's plenty of space there. There's going to be like built-in things to do at the library, like I'm thinking an hour a day they could go up and, use the computers and read books and then do some of the stuff that we have. So there's going to be a lot of things to do. It's in a great location. I think it's good for the library. It's good for us. So we'll see how that goes. The registrations are going to open for that November 1st.
What's the age group?
I think it's the same as camp. So like kindergarten to 12 years old.
What about the hours? What will the hours be?
Same hours, not not same, close to the same hours. It's going to be 9 to 2:45, but then we're going to offer aftercare as well. So that the aftercare is going to be another hour if people want to go down that road.
How many can you accommodate? Do you see yourself filling up?
Again, I'm not sure. This is a brand new thing that we're trying. So I'm thinking we'll get at least 10. You
Are
know,
you gonna use that downstairs space under the library?
that's going to be the main room that they're in.
Yeah.
But there's also like a kid section of the library, so that's where they're going to go, you know, for like an hour a day to do library stuff. You
I
know,
think
not
it's a good
necessarily
idea.
not run around the, you know, the adult section of the library, but stay in there in the kids section, you know.
And maybe
So-
have somebody come in and read a book each day or something like that. read
Would be a good
part of
idea
it.
too. Yep.
Joe wants to do that.
Negative.
Can you
Oh,
read?
I can.
Who said
can't.
that?
If the letters are big and it's easy, I can.
So that's I'm
It's
looking
very
forward.
ambitious of you, Alan. That's very ambitious.
I also arranged for a new yoga class that's going to be at the library also. So that's going to be January Wednesday. It's every Wednesday night for 6 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I'm using an instructor that Maureen used in the past. And when I was talking to her, she mentioned several times, you know, like her inner energy and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, she's going to be great. So, so I'm not worried about that.
That's fine.
I'll give you a quick update on the clay bricks. I bought them. I think I told you guys that last time in our unofficial
Yep.
meeting. And I hired Anthony Eldridge to put them in. So he's done half the job so far. He's put the clay bricks in at the mound. So he's going to finish. He's going to put them in at the batter's box and the catching area. And then the clay bricks will be in there. And then the maintenance to the field will be way easier. And he's already saying like he really wants, or people are going to want to come play there now because no other fields have clay bricks like that. So it'll
Great.
be good. Adult basketball. I know I've been asked about this a bunch of times. So I spoke to Nick Simpson. He's the gentleman who ran the program for me last year. And we just kind of thought that January would be a good time to start it up. I know we kind of said when the kids start playing, but speaking to the guys he knows and you know the holidays and all that stuff, we just kind of said let's start in January, first thing January. So it's either going to be like a Wednesday night or a Sunday night, one or the other. Haven't really figured out the day, but it's definitely going to happen right first thing in January. So we'll have adult basketball back on, and we'll plan to have it be like a seasonal thing. So as soon as it hits spring, we're going to stop it because that's when the numbers dwindle. And
Sally Taman in the background.
Eddie,
What's he doing over there?
gonna have to mute him.
Behind
It's square.
behind closed doors.
Okay, last thing that I got, basketball. Registrations are open. They've been open for a few weeks now.
What's the question here?
No, we can hear you guys talking. You're unmuted.
Oh, well, that's probably the radio in the background. Or Sally's on another line. I'll let you guys go back. Go ahead.
We have evaluations this Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I put the times out today on Facebook. I'm gonna have Chris put them on the website. Hopefully he gets them on there tonight so that people can see, you know, what time slot they're in. But the evaluations are going to be there. Jacob Hall is going to be running it again for me. And the point of it is to see the development of everyone and see how we can make equal teams.
Cool.
So that's everything I got for this report.
And hoops, all in all, was relatively good last season, right? Couple hiccups.
Yeah, it's I created a very strict spectator policy that I wanted the entire Lakes League to follow, and they didn't want to do it. They said it was too hard to enforce because their gym supervisors aren't old enough or mature enough to enforce it. I don't really think that's a good reason to not do it. So what I did was I adjusted the wording a little bit. So it's not quite as strict, but it's still pretty strict. And I called it the Willington spectator policy, meaning we don't have control over Bolton's parents and Ashford's parents, but we have control over Willington's parents. And when they sign it, they're agreeing that anyone in their family or anyone they bring to the game is going to behave a certain way to a high standard. And if they're not following it, they're out of there.
Good.
That's the biggest problem that I think we have with these basketball games. It's not the kids, it's not the referees, it's the spectators. So I want to try and change that culture and make it about the kids and not the parents.
Good luck.
Well, they'll figure it out soon enough, you know.
I think it's good to try. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
I mean, Stu read it. He when he came into the office the other day, I think he thought it was pretty good, I think.
Kind of a code of ethics for adults.
So,
I like it.
It brings attention to problems he's had in the past, and I agree with what everybody's thinking, enforcing it. You know, a 15-year-old kid can't enforce that, but we can always circle back with them with a phone call later in the week from Alan or even the board, enforcing that. You know, we appreciate gentlemanly and lady, you know, approaches to spectating.
Yeah, that's how it should be. All right, what else we got?
I don't know.
Are you, is Alan still down in the basement?
I am in the
Out
basement.
at work.
The plan is now for me to stay in the basement.
Good plan. That's good. You happy?
I am.
All right. And is HHS staying at the senior center?
I do not believe so.
All right, so you're gonna be sharing that space. That's okay. You guys get along, right?
Totally okay with it.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's good. I'm glad. It's no fun to go to work if work's no fun.
Hmm. I like my basement space.
The downstairs people and the upstairs people.
Yep.
All right, that's cool. Any old business? Is that the end of the director's report? I'm
Yes.
assuming?
Yep.
Okay. Any old business? Any new business?
Could you just quickly tell me, I'm not familiar with the swimming hole or the swimming area. There's a dock there, you said, Alan?
There is a dock. Yep.
So the kids can run off the ends of the dock? Is that what they do, or?
No, it's a floating dock.
Hmm.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have a floating dock there.
It floats about, yeah, whatever, 20 feet out into the water.
Oh, okay, like a raft, like what
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah,
said.
the raft.
So I heard Joe say raft, and I thought that was a great idea, but you already have one, so, okay. All right,
Not a
Thank you.
dock, it's a raft.
kids usually gravitate to that.
You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I'll tell you what I was actually thinking. We have Lions Club money, and I know some of it's supposed to go to the scoreboard, which we'll get in there whenever we get it in there. But I thought, even though we don't own the property, I thought it might be a good idea to ask if we could put in a tetherball game at Hall's Pond. I bought a portable one, and the kids seemed to like it there, but it was a pain to get it in every day. You know, it was kind of flimsy. You know what I mean? It's $10, you know, but a legitimate one, and we could say, you know, donated by the Lions Club, and it would give another activity for people to do at Hall's Pond, which I think would be pretty cool.
That's a
I
good
think
idea.
I'm gonna add that to your director's report. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. And I mean, how much money could it be? It can't be that much money to put in either, you know?
It's a post, a rope, and a ball, right?
Yeah, I think you gotta, put it in with concrete
Oh, yeah, it's gotta
but
be very secure.
but overall, I think it would be good. And actually, I depending on the cost, if it's something that's, between $300 and $500 to put in, maybe we put one in at River Road too, just another thing for people to do there,
Yeah, it
Sure.
doesn't take much space.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you don't really see it that often, but once people kind of start playing with it and the kids, it's fun. Even if they only play with it for 10 minutes and move on, then somebody else comes in and they play with it for 10 minutes. So
Exactly.
I think of Napoleon Dynamite when I think of tetherball, right?
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a. I remember in elementary school, I used to love playing it, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
a tetherball court in, phew, years.
Alan's bringing them back, baby.
There you go.
Only in Wellington.
I think if you had one at the waterfront, that'd be popular.
Yeah.
Something to do besides run into the water.
Yep. And that was part of the challenge of having so many kids at summer camp at Halls Pond. So the lifeguards didn't want we had 50 kids. They didn't want all the kids in the water at once. So we had to provide things for them to do outside of the water too. And, they got bored of certain things. They didn't want to play, what's the game where you toss the bean bags into the board? I can't think of it.
Cornhole.
Cornhole. Like cornhole was hit or miss, but tetherball, they liked that. And like I said, they're playing short games, then they're back into the water, and then another group comes out. And so I was thinking to myself, it would be cool if we could come up with like 2 or 3 things even that we could make permanent down there. And just maybe it would draw more people in general to go to Halls Pond instead of just summer camp people,
Yeah, you're making it more than just a waterfront.
Yeah.
I bet if you ask Diane Becker, she'd be okay with it because worst case, if everything goes to heck and it stops being the waterfront, you just pull it out of the ground.
Well,
Yeah.
you just make it so that there's a sleeve so that you can take the pole out of the sleeve and there's nothing but a flat surface there.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So I was gonna look into that, but that's obviously like a springtime thing. So
All right, cool. What else?
that's all I got.
No time to watch baseball tonight. Who's a Yankee fan?
Yeah,
They're all done.
They were
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah,
Just
Jesus,
get the broom out.
that botched double play, and my God.
I know, I saw a clip. But the best was Judge gets up, he's the last out, he grounds out. I loved it. 62 home runs. He was like A-Rod in the playoffs. It was ridiculous.
I can't watch the Patriots tonight because I don't have ESPN.
Got to be a way to watch it. Neighbor's house. All right, so are we good to adjourn? 8:03?
Make a motion.
Second that? I'll say Mike Pinotti seconded it.
Second.
8:03. All right, everybody good?
Very good.
That's good. Thanks for
All right,
coming.
You're doing a good job, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah,
Alright.
thank-
Keep it up.
Have a good night.
See you
Good
guys.
night, Joe. Thank you, everybody. Leave. I gotta hit leave.